Today was one of those days where you get a lot done, but it feels like you still haven't done enough. Put this inside. I'll explain in a minute. I'm gonna grab some water and then I'll explain. Just filling up some water here. So today we were able to clean up a ton of the property here. There was a bunch of wood that wasn't pressure treated that was over here that I picked up and cleaned up. So still a couple pieces, I missed a few, but there's some pressure treated wood here. I gotta pick up that bag. We cleaned up all down here. We got rid of all that dirtiness that was underneath the slide out from changing that slide out. All that wood rotted out there. If you haven't seen previous video, I made one of that slider being replaced. But we have new solar here. This is 4 panels. They're 295 watts. They give us a lot more solar. Today we were actually able to charge up from about 30% all the way up to 70% today. And I got these in very late. Like I didn't put them in completely finished until I want to say it was close to 3 o'clock. So from 3 to like 6 is probably the peak hours that I had of sun. And so to come up that much is great. We have our system here that's going to be completely cleaned up in the next day or so. I'm gonna get in here and just clean everything up nicely because right now it's a mess. We got all these wires just kind of coming in and dangling around in different ways, and I don't like that. I wanna clean up my space. But everything's running and working really, really well and nice. And I actually have a battery bank that's charged. What I've realized is I need about 4 more of these. These are huge, by the way, for $295. But I bought them all for 160 bucks. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's almost 1,200 watts of solar right there on the floor. And we will figure out a way where we're going to mount them. But I kind of don't want to mount them on the roof here. I kind of want to mount them in a place where I can maneuver it maybe, or something like that. Maybe I'll put it over here. It might cost me a couple bucks to do it, but that's okay. And then over there, I want to build a little deck so that way we could cook outside. And then I also want to replace this awning. I'm pretty sure it's only about 100 bucks to buy a new awning, so we'll probably buy a new one of those and get that replaced as well. And then I'm going to wind up using some of this truss wood for some stuff here soon. But I have all this composite board from doing Alex's parents' deck that I'm gonna wind up using for some decks that we'll build out here. And I cleaned up some of this with the lawnmower. I need to come back through one more time with the lawnmower, but I ran out of gas, so filled it up, brought it back, got it over there. There was a whole pile of wood sitting over here. Oh, a snake just scared the crap out of me. I was not expecting that. It scared the crap out of me. But there was a whole bunch of wood. I'm guessing it was probably living under that wood for a little while that we cleaned up over here. A couple pieces of board there still, but these are more like stakes, like spikes that you could put into the ground and reuse over and over. So didn't want to get rid of those. And then those 2 pieces are just pieces of blocks that I could use if we're ever in a bind. Stick them under the tire, just get yourself moving out of the space. And then everything in here kind of got cleaned up a little bit, but not too much. We still got to organize that. That was a fair-sized snake that's living there. That was pretty cool. I did leave these. For the bees. How cool is that? So I did leave these because I actually really like the way that they look up right next to the trailer here. And Alex really liked it too, so I didn't want to get rid of those. There was some like pink flowers kind of growing up over here, and I wound up mowing them. They were nice, but not nice enough to keep. There was only like 2 of them sprouting out of the ground. And this could use a little bit of a mow again, but today was productive because of all the stuff that got done. We also hung a new cabinet. So we have a new cabinet in the bathroom because the one that was in there was, honestly, it was kind of garbage. But we're having a nice, beautiful sunset, relaxing day. Get to hear, or evening, get to hear the birds. I think the USA is playing right now against Belgium. I'm pretty sure they're down 1-0. I don't really watch soccer, so I just catch the highlights. I had a nice shower today in the trailer. Nice hot water. Felt really good. But I'm looking forward to, like, what I think we need is basically like another set of those 4 panels. To be able to keep up with the AC, where we're pretty much topped off at 100% no matter what we use. And so that's kind of ideal in the situation we're in, is to be able to just use everything and not even thinking about it, So when we have those days where it's 30 degrees and you just run your AC all day without even blinking an eye, that'd be a nice spot to be in. So what I realized, it's about 90 total amps that we're using when we have everything running plus that AC. And so with another set of panels, I'll quite literally be pulling into that battery 90 continuous amps, which is also like the continuous threshold for that battery for it to like continuously take in a charge and be very comfortable for the battery. So we'll be maxing that out as well. Which is kind of perfect because that's what we were looking for, is to make sure that we have the right amount of power for the space, and only the one 460 amp hour battery is all we need to be able to power the space with being able to bring in the proper amount of energy. Now, wintertime will be a bit harder to live this lifestyle here. I think we can get by in the fall and the spring, because you're really only like incrementally using the heat, incrementally using the AC. You get enough sun, so it feels like a really nice space to be able to like live in those times of the year for sure. Summer can be pretty brutal heat, but we haven't really dealt with too much of that here yet. Oh, one of these videos too, what I want to do is kind of like walk back behind the property. It turns into the neighbor's property at a certain point, but I wonder how far back you go before you even hit like, say, another home or something like that. So I think one day I'm just going to go on a walk, a little hike back there, and we'll see what we run into. Yeah, but it's pretty cool. Like, you could also see how much water we've used so far. The fill line is about, we're still above halfway. I would say we are in between 2/3 and half right now. So we're not using too much water too quickly. Granted, we were away for a little bit, and we are taking showers here. I'm tired. Today knocked me out. Yeah, it's just pleasant to just sit and hang. I'm going to put you guys right here, see if you can see the dragonflies flying around, because there's quite a few of them. And they're just kind of passing by. And this is my view as well. You'll get to see what I'm looking at. Kind of want to pull the truck back there, like right in this area. When I pull the truck over there, it kind of blocks off the house. Not that you could see it at all, but it just like takes away anybody's view from the house looking this way. Gives us a little bit more privacy. Granted, we have plenty of it here. But I'm definitely happy with the way that this is turning out. It's turned out really nice. You can see, if you look up, you can see that the awning is starting to tear a little bit right there. And if you look back here, you can definitely see it tearing like right there. So there's a fair amount of it that's starting to go in the sense of the awning. Oh, look at the beautiful shadows and the light hitting here. I will say I do miss the sunsets at Chris and Shirley's house. They were gorgeous. So I am missing those a little bit, but these are good. This will work. I feel like I look swollen right now. Even my knee felt like a little bit swollen today. I did do like a really heavy workout. The one thing that I do need to do, I'm going to put you guys down here so that way I can set myself up. I want to kind of stretch the leg a bit. In other words, my extension feels like it's lacking a little bit. So one of the things I saw that you can do is take 2 chairs, set them like this, and then let the knee just hang. I have this on because I was icing, because it did look slightly, very, very slightly swollen. But I also was like moving it around and doing a lot today with it. But so basically, you could eventually put like a weight on that too. That'll help push it down a little. But you should be able to bear this. If you don't know, if you're new here, I recently had ACL surgery. Just over 8 weeks ago now. This Friday will be 9 weeks. And so like I'm in a really good space. My physical therapist has been telling me like I'm doing really good. Everything looks good. She's been working on this is a little bit too, but I have like it mostly down. But I noticed when I have days where I'm doing like a lot, I obviously neglect the exercises. And so when I do neglect the exercises on those days, which maybe is like once to twice a week max, that I neglect the leg a little too much. On those days specifically, I noticed that like I'm not doing the quad strengthening enough. And like yesterday I did a big hamstring workout, so I could definitely tell my hamstring is really, really tight right now at the moment. But it's only been almost not even 9 weeks yet. So, you know, I got to give myself some grace. And also make sure I don't overdo it, which I'm really, really paying attention to the fact of, you know, trying not to overdo it. But as somebody who's never been through this type of surgery before, I don't know what's overdoing it, what's not. My physical therapist is telling me I'm doing a really great job. And she also did say to me, like, don't overdo it. But like, I'm able to bike, I'm able to do all these things already. I'm not on a bike unless it's stationary. I did tell her, like, I want to run, but obviously I can't yet. And when I was leaving last week, she said, Frankie, do not run. And I was like, okay, I won't. But yeah, this is where I'm at. So you should be able to do this for 15, 20 minutes at a time. You'll feel a stretch in the leg. That's what I'm feeling right now. Look at these dragonflies just going all around me. I don't know if you can see them on the camera or not. These two are basically fighting for territory right here. Whoa. when I used to work at the Brooklyn Nets practice facility, when I did HVAC in New York City, they had a rooftop where they had a bunch of units on it, and I had to go up there all the time. I spent most of my days up there on their roof. But up on that roof, they had a couple little like garden areas, and the dragonflies that were up there, there was like a few spots that would have like a water feature and like some greenery. And I would watch these dragonflies fight while I was like doing maintenance and stuff for these spots, like the most pristine spot. Like there was a corner that had so much greenery and water, and they would like literally kill each other over it. It was wild. Dragonflies are crazy, but they're cool to watch. They must be just eating up the bugs right now. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate these dragonflies eating whatever they're eating right now, because it's not getting me. We did a fairly big drive today. It was about 30 minutes to the dump, and then another 15 minutes to the solar panels, and then another 15 minutes or so to the cabinet that Alex wanted to get. So it was like one after another, and Everly did so well during it. We didn't have her like device, so she wasn't able to just like get on the TT. And she just she really has been enjoying podcasts, which is really cool. They're Disney podcasts about like Nemo and or Disney princesses. But she's been digging those, and I like it because she gets to like imagine what's happening rather than watch it. And so her brain seems to be functioning a lot more, and she's like starting to articulate some really cool words. And when we went out to lunch today, we met this guy, Bob, that was sitting next to us by himself. And Everly started chatting with him, like asking his name, and noticed like that he was putting ketchup near his eggs and saying how she really loves ketchup too. And it was really cool to see her like trying to have a conversation with a stranger. I just thought it was so unique and really, really neat. So then what happens is when I get into that extension, then the bend becomes more difficult. So what I'll do is I'll go inside and I'll work the leg, and then I'll get my bend quite literally to be like this. And so I'm getting the full extension and the full flexion in the knee, which means that I'll have that eventually, but it's not consistent every day where I have that bend and flexion without any type of pain at all. And so I look forward to the day when I don't have pain at all, because those are the days that we literally are waiting for it to happen. And that also will be the days where I'm like really close to getting back to being 100% again. And I know that it says like it could take 4 to 6 months for no more pain to be there. And that's fine. I'll get through it. But I really am looking forward to those days, because, man, the pain in the knee is not fun. I had pain in my back for a while. That was much worse. But the pain in the knee is not fun. And like generally when I'm moving around, it doesn't hurt at all. It hurts when I'm doing those motions. I'm just going to grab my phone. I'm grabbing the phone because we need to do a comment of the day. It's been a little bit since I've done a comment of the day. So let's knock that out of the park here. There's been a lot of wonderful comments. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this community and being here for us and helping us by watching the videos and also sharing it with other people. So if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, follow along, and we'll be putting out something every single day. It's I think it's day 111 or 100. Yeah, something like that. It's wild. Whew. All right, so Love this, Frank. From Dana, thank you so much. That was a really fun episode. So that was when we talked about the good, the bad, and the worst vacations that we ever been on. We had a lot of fun with that. I always remember the Hawaii trip being fantastic. I remember thinking everyone knows except for Alex. So come on, Alex had to have an idea, some idea that, no, she had no idea. Alex literally had zero idea that that was going to happen. Her mom secretly passed the ring on to me, and I waited quite literally months before I did it. So that way, any sort of inkling of like me proposing to her would just kind of go away. And it definitely did. I don't think she was aware. But I'll ask her, and we'll talk about that a little bit in the next video. But if you want to see it, our engagement video, I'll leave it right up here at the end of this video. It's been 20 minutes. Thank you all so much for watching. See you tomorrow.